Hello, everyone. Welcome to your first week of math online. If you are watching this video, it means that you are solving your problem of the week and just needed a little help remembering how to do that. So that's what I'm here for, and welcome to the video. And we are going to solve together a problem that is very similar to your problem of the week, but not quite the same. I want you to take the steps and strategies in this video and use them to solve the weekly problem on your own, or maybe just with a tiny bit of help. Make sure you check back on Friday for your answer. That'll be available to you, and you can check your work and make sure that you got it right. Feel free to pause the video anytime, rewind, go back and listen to something again as we go. But let's get started. So our problem of the week is a word problem. And that's what we were working on before we took our long break, was how to solve word problems and also how to figure out what operation the problem wants us to use. If it wants us to use addition, if it wants us to use subtraction, if it wants us to use multiplication or division. So we are going to go through the 6 problem-solving steps together to figure out how to solve this problem. And feel free to, like I said, watch this video as many times as you need to get that right answer up top. I also included on the website, you'll see the problem-solving steps are in a slideshow right next to me. So you can click through that and it'll go through every step for you, okay? Have somebody help you read it if you need. So we are going to today try and answer this problem. Go ahead and take a second to look at it. Susie has 6 flower gardens. She planted 10 flowers in each garden. How many flowers does Susie have in her garden in all? So, step number 1 is to read the problem. Susie has 6 flower gardens. She planted 10 flowers in each garden. How many flowers does Susie have in her garden in all? Step number 2 is to read it again. Think about what the problem is asking. What is your question? So let's underline with a marker, a colored pencil, a regular pencil. Let's underline what the question is. I'm going to hold the whiteboard up for you and go ahead and pause the video and underline or write down the question and the problem. Right. If you pressed play, that means that you found our question. Our question starts with the word how. That's our question word. And it asks, how many flowers does Susie have in her garden in all? So that's our question. Step number 3 is we're going to circle the circle, underline, highlight, you choose. I'm going to circle today, but feel free to do whichever option you have available to you. You can use your pencil to highlight. You can color it. You can use a highlighter. We're going to highlight those guiding words. So remember, we talked about a lot of guiding words before we left for our long break. I'm going to write just a few of them down here for us so we can look at them really quickly. For addition, we said in all, total, combined, plus, and add. Okay, for subtraction, take away, the difference, how many more, less, left, multiplication, product, factor, each, total, in all. We have some similar words here. We've got in all and total in both addition and multiplication. That could get a little tricky. We're going to really have to listen to the problem and think about which one makes the most sense. And then for division, we have half, share, divide, split, in each. Okay, so those are just some review words and a review of the guiding words for word problems. I'm going to be uploading to our the Facebook page the posters from the classroom that have those words on them. So if you are allowed to access my Facebook page, those will be in there under the 4th grade album. You can view that picture and take a look at those posters. Back to our problem. How many flowers does Susie have in her garden in all? She has 6 flower gardens. So I'm going to draw a picture of this to help me figure out what it wants me to do. And feel free to pause the video and do this on your screen as well, or on your paper. Take the time to do what you need to do. So there's her 6 flower gardens. Okay? It says she planted 10 flowers in each garden. Okay? What does this problem look like? Some of you might say it looks like equal groups. Some of you might say it looks like I drew some arrays. What operation do we use with equal groups and arrays? Multiplication. And did multiplication have in all as a word that would tell us we need to use multiplication? It did. So we're going to now solve our problem. This is a multiplication word problem, and we figured that out by drawing a picture. There is no harm in ever drawing a picture to figure something out. It takes a little bit more time, but that's all right. If it gets us the right answer, the extra time is worth it. So we are going to now, we know that it's multiplication. Now we have to find the numbers that we're going to use. So what 2 numbers are we going to multiply in this problem? 6 and 10. 6 times 10. Now, if you were working on a piece of paper and you still have your flower garden drawing, use it. Use it as your strategy to solve, because now we need to think about how we're going to solve this problem. We need to pick a strategy. That is step number 5 in our word problem solving strategies, is to do the work, solve the problem. So choose your strategy. For multiplication, we talked about arrays, which was columns and rows. We talked about equal groups, which would have been the garden picture that I drew, where you had 6 gardens with the flowers in each. You can do your skip counting. So we talked about we can skip count by 6s or 10s. You can use your touch points. And if you draw your touch points on the 6, then we're going to count by 10 6 times. So that's the strategy that I'm going to use. I'm going to use the touch point strategy. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. 60. Okay? If you could have also just done skip counting by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. And if you would have drawn your flower gardens, you could have counted all the dots. Okay? Multiple strategies all get the same answer. So 60. Now, the last step is making sure that our answer makes sense. So step number 6, if you check out the slideshow that is on the website, you can click to slide number 6, and it says that you need to check your answer. Does my answer make sense? So you can see there on the slide that it says if you added or multiplied, your answer should have gotten bigger. Did our answer get bigger? We started with 6 and 10, and we ended up with 60. Yeah, our answer got bigger. Another answer, if you would have added, would have been 16. But if we were to fill out our whole flower garden, and counted up all the dots, do we have more than 16 dots? Yes. So sometimes drawing a picture really helps make that decision between addition and multiplication. So we've got our answer. Now we have to finish it. And how do we always finish a word problem? We restate the question in our answer. So the question was, how many flowers does Susie have in her flower garden in all? We would say, Susie has 60 flowers in all. Remember, use the words from the question in your answer. I hope that this video helps you solve your problem of the week, and make sure you check back on Friday to check that answer and make sure that you got it right. And I'll see you guys next week for our next problem in our next lesson. Miss you all. Have a great week.